Hi, this is Evan from MetRocket, and on behalf of Allstays.com, welcome to a demo of the latest version of the iExit iPhone app, version 2.0. iExit is an interstate-based iPhone app whose purpose is to tell you where your next best exit is located. No matter how you define the term best exit, iExit has you covered. Let's go ahead and open up iExit and see it in action. When you open up iExit, it takes a few seconds to find the closest exit to you, to determine your location and direction, and decide if you're on or off the interstate. It's important to understand that at all times, iExit is in one of two modes. It's either on the interstate or it's off the interstate, and it uses your direction and location to figure out which mode it should be in at all times. Right now we're in off the interstate mode, which you can tell by the not on interstate text at the top. You can also tell which mode you're in by how many tabs are showing at the top. When there are 2 tabs showing, like right now, that means you're off the interstate. But when there are 4 tabs showing, that means you're in on the interstate mode, and we're going to see that in just a little bit. But we're currently off the interstate, and this first tab shows us where the closest exit is located. It shows how far away it is, some information about the exit, and which point of interest are found at that exit. If I select a particular point of interest, I can see it in more detail, and I can see there's a button to call and a button to get directions to it. This exit can come in handy when you've just exited the interstate and want to know what's at the exit you just took. The second tab is called Map and Search, and it allows you to see where you are and surrounding points of interest on a Google map. As you can see, this red dot denotes where we are, and we're close to I-85, but we're not on it just yet. There's a search feature on the map that allows iExit to be treated as a point of interest locator. If I click on this magnifying glass, all of the chains supported in iExit will pop up, and I can scroll through them, and I can go to Starbucks. And if I select Starbucks and click Done, the map will be reloaded with only locations for Starbucks, which I can see when I zoom out. If I wanted to get directions to this particular Starbucks, I could select it, click the directions button, and then I would be prompted to close iExit and open up Google Maps with turn-by-turn directions to that Starbucks. But I'm not going to do that. This is a cool feature because it works for all of the 300 chains supported in iExit, meaning you don't have to download a Hampton Inn app, and you don't have to download a Starbucks locator. iExit takes care of all of this for you. This not only saves you money, but it saves you space on your iPhone. So if we zoom back in, we see that we are on the move, and we are about to turn on to I-85. iExit has detected this, saying entering I-85, but it takes a few more seconds to determine the direction. Once it's figured out our direction, which it just did, we're going south, we are officially in on the interstate mode. And you can see the 4 tabs now show up here. This first tab is called All Exits, and it shows you which exits are coming up down the road with a summary of what's at each. When an interstate junction is coming up, you're going to see a special row with 3 buttons that allow you to decide what direction you plan on going when you reach that junction. If I wanted to go on I-75 North, I could click that button and the exits would be updated. I actually plan on going on 75 South, so I'm going to click on that button and the exits again are updated. If I wanted to see a particular exit in more detail, I could select that exit. If I wanted to see a particular point of interest in detail, I could select it, just like before. All exits can be very handy when you want to see just a brief summary of what's coming up, and it also allows you to select multiple interstates. But if you're looking for a particular exit with certain chains, then you're going to want to use one of the 2 favorites tabs. As you can see, we've yet to select any favorites, so let's do that now. I'm going to select this star button in the top left, which brings up all the different types of point of interest, and I'm going to select some favorites. I have a BP card, so I'm going to select BP. I'm going to select some of my favorite fast food restaurants. I'll go McDonald's, and I'll select Zaxby's. Let's see, I'm going to select some coffee. I'll select Dairy Queen. I want to choose a hotel. I like staying at Comfort Inn, so I'll choose that. And to finish it out, I like knowing where Targets are because I like stopping if I need something random. So when I click Done, all favorites has now been updated to tell me where my favorites are located down the road. And when an exit contains more than one favorites, they'll be grouped together. If I'm trying to please an entire car of passengers, I might want to scroll through and find an exit that has the most favorites at it. And as you can see, exit 218, if I can hold out another 29 miles, this contains 5 unique favorites at this exit. This is probably my best exit if I'm trying to please a lot of people. However, if you don't care about multiple chains at a particular exit and you only care about one chain, say if I wanted to stop at Arby's for lunch and I only cared about Arby's, next favorite is the tab I would want to use. This tells me the next Arby's is coming up in 4.3 miles. And if I didn't want to stop at this particular Arby's, I could select this row and see all upcoming locations for Arby's. This can be very helpful if I'm looking for a hotel, but I'm not ready to stop just yet. I want to drive another 100 miles or so. Here's a Comfort Inn in 100 miles, and I can give them a call and see if they still have reservations. Between next favorite and all favorites, no matter what I'm looking for at a particular exit, iExit makes it very easy for me to know which exit is the best for me. The fourth tab is, again, Map and Search, which we're familiar with. This filter is still on, so I'll turn that off. And this tab works the exact same whether I'm on the interstate or off. One more thing to show with iExit is that you can customize it. If you click the gear button in the bottom left, you'll see an options view pop up. The first option is to allow me to select how many exits ahead I want to see, and I can select all the way up to 150, which equals about 350 miles down the road. I can choose between kilometers and miles, and I can even hide exits that don't have any point of interest at them. Below, I can decide what point of interest types apply to me. If I don't care about biofuel, I can turn it off, and it will be hidden throughout iExit. If I'm not a coffee drinker, I can turn off coffee, and it will be hidden. If I only want to see chain hotels right by an exit, I can move the slider down to make sure I only see hotels within a quarter mile of an exit. Being able to turn on and off point of interest types is important because as we continue to add more chains to iExit, this makes sure that you continue to only see the ones that apply to you. So we'll click done and those will be taking effect. And that is iExit in a nutshell. If you're planning to take a road trip anytime soon, iExit belongs on your phone. You can take control of your road trip for just $2.99. Thank you for watching the iExit demo, and we hope that you find iExit helpful on your next road trip.